right, so bombers are approaching. Lots of contacts, and let's go back to getting. I should probably get to launching airstrikes here soonish. So the Strike Eagles, ready arm. JDAMs. GBU-24s. I always forget the. So those are 2,000-pound bombs. Maybe I want to go with the CMBs. I think I'd much. Actually, the long range. What's the difference? 875 nautical miles, 10. 875 should be more than enough range on these. So we will arm those with GBU-24s for my Strike Eagles. And this group of F-16s will again be set up for SEAD. AMRAAM sniper pods. Oh, there it is. What's the longer range of the two? Oh, they're both the same. I do love how much, the loadouts on the F-16 of just how much you can cram onto such a relatively small airframe. What's the difference between here? That's got one harm. Oh, because that's got paveways on it. That's why I don't really need paveways. There's the Maverick. Pretty sure I want to use harms. Yeah, 70 nautical mile range. I will use harms. Ready arm. All right, let's see how the bombers are still moving in. And looks like my tanker should arrive there just before my first flight of B1s, and then it looks like my second flight of KC-135 should get there about the time the B2s get there. So I think I timed this just about perfectly. Again, I probably overkilled it on the number of tankers, but who really cares? Now, I want to get some actual in-house recon. So I'm going to launch just some. Oh, and I do have U2s. There are actually U2s in this area. So I'm going to launch all those individually. And then I'm going to launch a group of Global Hawks individually. The U2s, I'm going to probably, not sure what I'm going to do with the U2s. I'm going to use them as sort of recon here. See if I can sort of identify any of the AAA that I know is in this area. And also from Al Dhafra, I'm going to launch a couple of flights of my launches group. So there goes my F-22s. And you know what? Maybe I'll launch a whole squadron of them. And then I'm going to start launching some of my fighters from my carrier. Seahawk, Ocean Hawk, in the form of my AMRAAM Heavy. Ready arm. I just want to check their range on this. 125 nautical, 150 nautical miles, 150 minutes. 125 minutes, 150. So those actually don't really have a whole lot of range to do anything, to actually get anywhere. So I'm going to leave the carrier group. All right, so Global Hawks and U2s should be airborne. I'm going to pause it here real quick. So I'm gonna this one here, being sure to kind of keep it clear of. Now it's going to go up. These are going to go up to max height, which is 85,000 feet. So that should be plenty of height to stay out of the range of just about everything. And we're going to send. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive with my Global Hawks. RNEW. So there's actually nothing down here in the south that I need to actually strike, but I'm going to try and use maybe a gap here to start getting, see if that's a good, start trying to plan out my ingress routes for my bombers. So Global Hawks. And that Global Hawk's already got a mission. Oops. And then I'm going to send my. Now I have to assume that those F-14s, which I know what they're set up as, but I'm going to play ignorance here, of that they are probably armed with Phoenixes. So they may actually have a slightly longer strike range than me. All right, so we're going to send this group. We're going to kind of keep these F-22 groups together. We'll send these north, and then I should probably actually get a kind of a theater-wide refuel mission set up. That way I actually get a little bit of extra range out of my, so I will assign my rest of my Strato tankers, and I will assign all of my KC-10s to this mission, and I will just run 1/3 rule on them. So this will be a theater-wide kind of, flight over the Gulf. All of my my fighters should be able to use it, and then if need be, I can always move it closer. So those will start launching. Now these F-22s with their internal loadouts, I'm going to send these on more of a, let's see. I'm going to send the F-22s basically to go and engage their initial cap. So Global Hawks. I'm going to spread all these out a little bit. Probably didn't need so many U-2s, but I'll fly this one here and fly it around kind of to the north. All right. And this one here, fly it there. Kind of make a little bit of a dogleg and then fly it into Afghanistan. And so that should be, oh nope, I got one Global Hawk left. I do wish a little bit that I do wish a little bit that the symbol for a drone and an aircraft was slightly different. All right, so there we go. So all of there goes the KC-10s on their refuel mission. That is a lot of tankers. I did switch 1/3 rule for that mission, right? AEW North, yeah, 1/3 rule. Now, I guess I have 32 tankers. And I guess not all these are tankers. Oh, I guess they are tankers. That's interesting. Okay, well then this group of this squadron F-22s are going to begin to go and engage the Iranian bar cap. So we'll kind of send in a group. Their orders. Automatically fire on those. Now they're going in basically the radars turned off. And then while that's going, I'm going to begin launching my own strike fighters. So let's get my SEAD F-16s airborne. And then, so this doesn't actually have any ready arm. What I decided, I think I decided on a mixed loadout for this group. 28. I think I like the more the just dump bomb. So I will send in the F-16s from there. So hopefully use my F-22s to kind of clear the way here. And then I will leave, kind of send this squadron over here to the north, or this flight. So the Warhawks are coming up. I'm going to kind of send them over here to right off the coast. Luckily that for the most part, everything's kind of within range. So we'll send. And I probably should have made a trigger that would have. I'm gonna have to. I actually have to manually trigger the air intercept mission. So I think until like the bombers start coming in, I'm not gonna actually trigger anything. And I have a feeling that they don't even know that this group of F-22s is even here until they fire. And my F-22s probably don't have a solid lock on them either right now. Oh, there we go. So we should be seeing a missile launch of the AMRAAMs here rather shortly from this group. Now this is probably going to actually be a little bit of a longer stream than normal just because of everything that I have to strike. So I'm probably looking at another hour and a half to 2 hours of streaming here. Why are we not firing? Maybe they just want to close the range a little bit. There we go. Now we have missiles. There we go. So we got AMRAAMs launched. And then launch against that group as well. And I have a feeling that I wonder if this group of Tomcats even knows that it's been fired upon. Probably not. I'm just gonna watch the engagement here. Did I just fire another salvo of missiles? Oh, I guess I just fired another salvo of missiles at it. I was hoping that... Oh no. Why did I fire so many missiles at that one group? Alright, so we're gonna just order them off the attack for the time being. And we'll just watch this missile storm go in. Seems like an awful lot of missiles, but maybe because of the range they fired more. Or maybe it's because they don't actually have a solid lock on them. Oh, now we seem to do. And we'll just watch those missiles go in. Let's see how everything else is going. So my F-16s are airborne. Unit count is steadily kind of going up here. Just about 1,200, but that's probably because I have missiles running in here. There we go, and the missiles and the Iranians know that they've been fired upon. They're probably detecting the seeker heads of the missiles of the AMRAAMs right now. And I actually think these are going to miss. Unless this... Yeah, agility, failure, failure, miss, miss. Wow, that seems to be an awful lot of failures and misses hit, failure, success. And well, no, maybe it's just because the location of these wasn't quite as accurate as my radar's picking it up to believe, but looks like I knocked out most of the fighters, so it's probably a good thing that I launched that many missiles. I wonder if this one will actually redesignate a target and home in. We'll just let the air battle go on its merry little way over here. And check this group. So this group still has 5 AIM 120s left, along with its Sidewinders. All right. So about now, I think I should probably, Iran knows it's lost fighters. So we're going to flip over and just see how things look from this side. And so they don't even see the F-22. They're just seeing missiles popping up and, no idea, where they're coming from. So at this point, I think they do realize that something's going on. So we're gonna switch this to a third rule, and we're gonna basically, by now you figured that they're gonna start launching, additional missions. So we're gonna switch this to active. This was their scramble mission, so it's now active. It's now active. So they're gonna launch this, and then their air refuel, along with that's gonna go up. Just try to keep 2 aircraft on station. So there they go. So we'll get those airborne. I'm just kind of curious what else they see. So they don't actually see, other than my bases, they don't see anything. They don't seem to have any radar coverage of where the rest of my, strike groups are. There we go. Yeah, well, I know they're at max distance. I always kind of forget about the weapon release authorization. I usually don't really mess with it all that much. Um, so that other AIM-120 self-destructed. It didn't actually identify a target. It doesn't help that these target. I keep losing contact on these. Oh, there was a miss, failure. Well, that sucks. I'm really kind of curious what the failure is. I can understand the miss from the max distance, but I'm kind of curious what a failure is. All right, so these guys should now have. They only have 2 AIM-120s left, and they're getting awfully deep into Iranian airspace. So I'm gonna probably have to start looking at once they fire these last 2 AIM-120s, especially with other fighters gonna start coming up here shortly. Let's see if they're gonna launch them. Looks like they're trying to maintain their contact with the. Oh, and that AIM-120 is flicking on their own active sensors now. And oh, those are targeted on those ones. Oh, miss, hit. And there's another success, and a miss. Failure, miss. All right, well, this group's now out of AIM-120, so we're gonna start getting them, have them RTB. Turn them around. And actually just return to base. So I got most of the Iranian patrol there, so that's something. Now, where are... Oh, that's why everything's running so slow. 1 second time compression. I should want to be running this in 5. I'm gonna... Should probably check on my bombers. Yeah, see, I'm definitely starting to notice a slowdown here. Unit count. And more failures, one more hit, and two misses on those on the strike. And now I'm starting to pick up the rest of Iran's Air Force basically coming up. Now, active unit counts up to 1,200, and I'm definitely starting to notice a pretty big slowdown here. Let's see if we can speed this up a little bit. I only want to show radar ranges for selected units. Maybe that'll hopefully speed this up a little bit. And let's go check on where my bomber strike is. So bombers look like they're approaching. The B2s are falling farther and farther kind of behind. They're only about halfway to their destination, whereas the B1s are just about right into tanking range of the tankers. I just want to look and see what their fuel status is. They actually have another like 3.5 hours of fuel left. I wonder, could we make it up here? They could probably actually strike as they are, but I'm still going to refuel them. And so what are these? Are these, oh, AEW. I actually think I want to assign another AEW mission down over here. Call it AEW West. I actually only have six sentries, so I'm going to assign 4 to the north and then 4 south. I don't think I actually saved that mission. Nope. So create new mission. Yeah, definitely started to notice a pretty big performance hit here. I'd hate to have seen what this scenario would have been like if I had played it with all 25, 3,300 units that I had in last week's setup. Oh, oops. No, I want to remove this point and remove this point from that patrol. There. All right. So we have a Global Hawk 3 has been destroyed. So I am losing my Global Hawks, but it doesn't look like they're actually. Wow. Did I launch everything when I ran? I thought I had hit 1/3 roll. Scramble, 1/3 roll. Well, yeah, I guess they have a lot of fighters. All right, well, it's time to start pairing their air units down a bit. So switch back over to the US. Now, my carrier strike group. Where's my other flight of F-22s at? So we're going to send this group from this direction. Have it kind of just engage that. Actually, we'll fly them in. Um, Assigned a mission. I should probably actually set up my own mission for this. Drop targets. Now we'll just send you guys in this way, and then where's my other group of F-22s at? This one right here? Yep. So we'll send this group in, and then I'm going to launch another group of 4 to make up for the ones that are rearming. So launch this group. Take 3 hours before I have that first group that had already been in and engaged and all that. I'm actually surprised that they're already back at base. Yeah, I've got the Global Hawks. They're a relatively, easy target. They're not all that hard to shoot down. And it doesn't look like I'm actually picking up anything. I'm going to send this Global Hawk like that. All right, well, with that, I believe it's time to actually start getting down to actually doing some strikes here. So, Mission North. So those are radars. That's an SA-5 regiment. So we're going to send this group here. Have it attack that radar. And then this group here will go after those two. And where are my strike eagles? So we'll want these guys, launch in groups of 4. Send out a squadron here of these guys to start taking on, I believe this is the Bush here nuclear facility. So I will send Strike Eagles. I've already got the F-16s going in to take out the air defenses around there. And then I don't believe there's actually anything at this air base. And so that'll be the first strike of the day. And then I've got F-22s kind of closing in from both directions. My other Global Hawk's been destroyed. No big deal. As long as they're focusing on Global Hawks and not going after my U-2s, that is a plus. I'm really going to have to trim down this air engagement over here before I can send in my strikes, though. This is going to be a very target-rich. And actually, with that being said, I think it's time for the Hornets to come up off of the carriers. Launches group. We'll leave a couple behind. Now, what I'm going to use these guys essentially to trigger the response from. I'm going to use my F8. Sorry, guys. Trying to concentrate here. I'm going to use my F-18s to basically trigger these patrol missions and basically make all these Iranian aircraft start coming after them. And then when they do, I will hopefully pounce on them with even more F-22s. So I'm basically doing a full carrier alpha strike here, and that pretty much everything on my carrier's deck here is going to be launching. So all my F-22s are now airborne. I'm going to also launch my Growlers. And I'm going to launch these in 2 groups of 2. Launches group. Launches group. And then I also have, I'm going to maintain a group of, one more group of F-18Es. Basically just to serve as basically backup in case I need them for later. And I think I am going to set up that carrier AEW mission. So I'm going to put one that's kind of back here, one that's kind of up there. And I want both of those points to remain fixed, bearing to the carrier group. And I'm going... All right. Carrier AEW North. We'll get 2 Hawkeyes airborne. Try and keep 1 airborne at all times. Add a removal. All of those. So deselect all of my... You're forgetting to do that. Nothing really happened quite yet, Clayler. I started launching all of my airstrikes. I've got F-16s going in to strike the Bushehr nuclear facility and take care of their SAMs and their AAA. And then I've got Strike Eagles launching to take out the facility itself. And then I'm launching an Alpha Strike of fighters from my carrier to go in and start kind of triggering the Iranian air defense response, and then hopefully I will ambush them with more F-22s. All right, so add point, and then right now I'm actually setting up a mission for my carrier. I can find out where in this long list of, oh, there it is. So keep 1 aircraft on station, not 12, 1. Active emissions, continuous loop. All right, so hang on a second, guys. Gotta knock at the door. Ah, nobody important. Door-to-door people. Noise me. All right, so let's get this other carrier mission here in the south set up, and then... All right, so this will be the last 2 Hawkeyes. Wherever they are at, Hawkeye 2000s, right there. Keep 1 on station. All right, so that'll give me a little bit more. Hopefully I can start getting kind of a cross bearing if I set up between this mission and the south mission. I'm really hoping I'll get a cross bearing. All right, so we do know that there's now something on that island. Probably a SAM. Oh, what's this? That's a Global Hawk. All right, so I actually have identified those. Why are we not firing? Uh-oh. I am detecting vampires. I'm trying to figure out why I'm... Oh, they are launching missiles. Okay, there we go. I think those are missiles. Yep, there we go. Our missiles inbound. And it looks like their missiles are actually going after my Global Hawk, which I'd much rather have it go after my Global Hawk than go after my F-16s, which just launched harms on them. Global Hawks are expendable, whereas F-16s are not. And, well, thanks for confirming your guys' position, because goodbye radars. Detected vampire, detected vampire. I did not realize that these SAMs could actually shoot down harms. That seems strange. What are these? SA-5s? didn't realize SA-5s had anti-missile capability. That seems odd. I didn't think they were. I think these were what, Generation 1 SAM missiles? That's weird. Okay, whatever.